Okay, I picked this up at the local thrift store. I paid a whopping $3 for it. As is, does not hold a charge. And, let's see, it's a Nintendo Carrera whatever RC 2020 Mario Kart Bumble V Yoshi. Okay. Didn't come with a charger, but it did come with this, which is rare. Usually they don't have the controller. Currently you can get these on eBay from in $25, $35 range. So apparently it runs at, or communicates at 2.4 gigahertz. It's got a lithium ion phosphate battery in it. We'll pop that open and take a look. Since it says that the battery doesn't hold a charge, the battery is probably the same price as if you bought a whole thing on eBay. Of course, the battery on the one on eBay is probably no good either. So, let's see what we got here. Get something to pry it open. I always like prying away at lithium ion batteries. Okay, the battery is 3.2 volts, 700 milliamp hour. Maximum charge rate is 0.7 amps. With this turned on and flip it over, oops, turned on, flip it over, it does light up, and let's get the controller going. Oops. Nothing. Looks like this wants to do it, and that already turned off. So I'm going to put a bit of a charge on the battery. Let's turn this off. Oh, I did swap out new batteries into this one. I did check those, but they were pretty flat. So I'm going to now pull this out and do some questionable charging. So I've just plugged some wires in here. The battery currently is at 2.477 volts, so it hasn't been drastically discharged. So this next step is I'm just going to actually try to cycle it and see what I can get the voltage up to. Okay, don't do what I'm doing. I don't have a lithium iron PO4 charger. So I've got it hooked up to my power supply up there. Right now it's set at 2.99 volts. Initially it was drawing half an amp, and it's settled down to about 0.04 amp. What I'm going to do is slowly increase the voltage for about 5 minutes up to about 3.2 or 3.4 volts. And that way I'll get a bit of a charge on this. I kind of wonder if they had that note doesn't hold a charge simply because they didn't have the charger and they didn't want to false advertise something. So after 3 minutes, it's now at 3.12 volts, and it's dropped down to about 60 milliamp charge. That's going to be good enough for me. So after doing my questionable charging method, I reinserted the pins, and in it goes. Not the most glorious way, but there. It actually has positive marked on this side and the negative there. Let's put this back on. And let's see if just about 5 minutes worth of charging will make this thing work. Just to see. Oops, There we go. Okay, off, on. Oh, that's blinking a lot better now. Put the remote on. Oh, it's making noises. Oh, there's backwards. Okay, there's backwards. There's forwards. I just wonder if this thing's gummed up a bit. You can see this one wheel doesn't like to move too well. So there's back, forwards, left, right. So it does look like it's working. I think this thing's just might be worn out a bit. Which means I could use the controls out of this for something else. Aren't you going to make a run for it? Oh, there it goes. I did try to make a run for it. After playing with it even a bit longer, I've come to the conclusion that it's either all gunked up in here, which is causing excess resistance, or the battery needs more of a charge on it. Definitely the controls left to right work nice. The forwards and backwards work, but you can see there it has issues. It doesn't want to rotate. So let's take it apart. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws here. Some little screws in there. And then another 2 screws down in here. I'll start with these ones and I'll fast forward it. The reason I've been taking toys apart is to see what sensors they use. And in this case, I think I scored really good getting a complete radio control unit. Don't know what the range is on this, but we'll see what the board's like. And later I can actually test it out to see what's the distance. Because from the first look at it, it looks like it all works. It's just the battery is kaput. And on stuff like this, if the battery's gone and the thing's running rough, maybe it's not worth salvaging. Okay, starting to feel loose. Okay, that all comes up. Oops. Wonder where that went. Oh, that came from over here. Let's just put all this, just in case I want to put it back together. Somewhere over there. So, by the looks of it, you got the motor here. That's driving the back wheels. There's probably... Okay, here's the motor here. You're pulling these left and right. Then we have one circuit board. One LED. Boy, there's not a lot in here. So I'm going to pop the board out. I had hooked up the battery temporarily just to see if everything would spin. It didn't. So it may be that that battery just simply won't hold any charge any appreciable amount of time. But let's get the old electronics exposed. Yep, there's a little LED for there. The switch. Okay. Let's just take a look and see if I can measure the voltage on the board. There's one on the side of the battery. There's the other. Oh, it's already down to 2.5 volts. So, why don't I hook this thing up to my bench supply? Okay, I'm now hooked up to my bench supply at 3.14 volts. Left right works fine. With this one, this is definitely having issues. So there's either damage in here or that just doesn't want to. There we go. So the controls work. Let's take a look at the board. Well, this board's actually fairly straightforward. Right here you have RF2520A, and your antenna is coming in on this pin here, which goes over to pin 1 to the chip. This is your radio control circuit, and it looks like it has 4 channels out on it. 2 of the channels, this one here and this one here, are going over to this chip, which is, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's 118S, which is a motor driver. And amazingly, on the other side of the chip, you have one path coming to this, one path coming to this one, and those are the 2 wires, going out to the small motor here. Now, the other 2 lines, they come over to this. It's an MX1616H, a motor dual channel H bridge. And it goes out to this one and this one, which, if I can rotate forward, goes back to the big motor there. So it's actually pretty straightforward. This is doing all the telling of moving this, moving that, and that's about it for this board. On the flip side, there is a crystal 12/15P and 2 large capacitors. Not a lot on here. And the fact that they have all the writing on the chips is kind of amazing. So essentially, message comes in, turns one or the other. So that's it for this one. I am gonna not replace, put it back together. I'm gonna be keeping things like the little headlights. This board here will probably go into something else eventually. Momentary cough there. I'll just zoom out. And so what I'll probably do is try to keep this part and this part intact. I suspect this is actually chewed up. If you look closely, the wheels or the axis isn't perfectly straight anymore. It's a bit more visible here. It doesn't come out on the camera as well, but you can see that it's almost like these were pulled back a tiny bit. But hey, as I delve into radio-controlled stuff, this was a cheap way, I think, of doing it. So have a good day, and if you think one of these is super precious, there's lots on eBay. Okay, bye.